Stanford University.
Hi everyone, as Christopher said, my name is Krysia Zajonc. I'm a Stanford '07 graduate, and I'm also the CEO and co-founder of Local Food Lab. We're a place for sharing ideas and discovering new projects for creative food professionals. It's our mission to use technology, design, and lean startup principles to help make a food system that is more sustainable. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we got here, what we do, and I'm also going to launch something big and exciting that is very exciting for us that we just launched yesterday, and I'll let you all get in on it and hopefully get signed up. So back to when I was at Stanford as a junior, I had my first startup experience, and that was working at Facebook. There's only about 20 employees then, and we were working in a small office down on University Ave, and it was really amazing to see a group of guys, because they were all guys, and they were mostly unshowered, and they had dropped out of college, and they completely changed the world. And it was an amazing thing to see as a young person, such a big thing happen. And so inspired by this, but also coupled by this love of food and farming that had been instilled in me by my family, a group of friends and I decided to try our hand at entrepreneurship, but instead of tech entrepreneurship, we said, why not food entrepreneurship? So we went to Costa Rica, and we started at a cafe and a restaurant that use only locally grown and locally sourced ingredients. Costa Rica is one of the few places where you can use locally grown chocolate and locally grown cacao. And as Miguel said, you can, I don't know where he is, but you can also get locally grown bananas there. So that's another really delicious thing, and it was a very interesting experience. But I probably don't need to tell a room full of such veterans in the food industry that our idea that we could start a business and just kind of figure it out as we go, learn anything we didn't know on Google, and get rich in about 6 months, because that's what we've seen our friends do. I don't have to tell you guys that that is completely unrealistic, and it didn't happen, and we struggled just to keep the business afloat. So it was this frustration, this struggle, coupled with this real front row seat into the Central American food system, which provides a lot of the food that we eat up here in a way that does very little good for the people or the environment down there, that led my team and I to start asking ourselves, we know all this stuff about technology, how can we use that to actually impact the food system? Was there a connection? Was there something we could learn from one another, or maybe not? So we headed back up to Silicon Valley, short and very expensive detour to business school, and landed here and started the first tech-style business incubator for local food startups. And we work with 20 industry mentors, many of whom are here today. Will Rosenzweig was very instrumental, Christopher Gardner, Matt Roth, I saw Dara, I saw Matt Teichman in the back. Lots of you guys helped us get it off the ground. And we work with 30 mission-driven businesses, in person we work with them, to create concepts that aim to be financially viable and also contributing to a food system that was healthier, more just, and more resilient. It was this really amazing experience, and during the course of that year, something happened. And what happened is that food entrepreneurship became cool, and young people wanted to do food startups all of a sudden. So my team and I said, now that we're at this tipping point where food entrepreneurship is something people actually want to do, we have this experience working with these 30 companies, was there something that we could offer food and farm startups everywhere that could actually make a difference? So we went back to the drawing board, and we said, we're engineers and technologists at heart. What could we do that would make a difference that people could use a website, obviously? And we realized that something would have to address 3 main problems that still remain to effective food and farm entrepreneurship. The first one is that the information in the shifting industry is still so disorganized. So how could we help entrepreneurs who are just getting started understand their process better? The second thing is that the players are still so disconnected. The food chain from farmer all the way to eater is very opaque, and in some cases intentionally opaque. So how could we remove some of that opacity? And the third thing is, how could we guarantee, or try to guarantee, because this is the longest shot, that people would be paid fairly for the work that they were doing? I don't think we're going to have a real meaningful food movement on the backs of unpaid interns. So how can we address those 3 problems? So again, with the help of many people from food and many people from tech, we launched something that I would invite you, if you have a laptop or a smartphone on you, to check out right now. I don't know which of these is mine, but startsomethinglocal.com. You can visit it right now. I'll tell you a little bit about it. So At its core, we were inspired by the emergence of the visual web. So the visual web is something that is better known for sites like Pinterest or Instagram. And I think what the visual web has done for food and farm entrepreneurship is make it possible for people to see what it means to be a food or farm startup from anywhere. Even if they're in a very dense urban environment, they can envision, they can take a look at what Jared's doing, and they can say, wow, this is beautiful. I want to get in on this. So we use that, and am I moving? We created a site that everyone here can use, assuming that you're interested in the food movement and you're doing something in the food movement, you can be a part of our site. Every image on our site, like I said, it's part of the visual web, starts with a unique project, process, or business, and goes on to, you can search our site through based on what's popular, based on what has been recently added, and based on a list of tags that may be relevant to you. So perhaps you are into food trucks, perhaps you are doing a pop-up cafe, perhaps you're really obsessed with USDA certification, organic certification. Whatever it is, there's a niche for you, there's a place for you to share your story, map your process, and connect with others. So remember I said it was about making the process less opaque, communicating with and connecting with people, and getting people better paid jobs. So the first one is you get to map your process. It's not just about the beautiful finished product. It's about all along the way, what are the steps that you are taking? And as you're posting those steps, you can get help from people who have done it before. They can share their opinions, their feedback. You can tweak your process. The second thing is you can connect with people. There's really rich endorsement features, commenting features, messaging features, so you can get involved with all the other people that are working on the site, and you can learn and you can meet each other, service providers, meet a co-founder, meet a new team member. And lastly, it allows you to showcase your skills and your capabilities. And the reason why that's really important is that I think that the reason why people aren't always getting fairly paid in food entrepreneurship is that the host of skills that they have hasn't yet been crystallized into a well-known job description or a job title. So it's up to you guys to make those new job descriptions, label yourself as what you are. Maybe you know how to do something very complicated at the plant lab. Maybe you know how to do something very interesting with kombucha. There's no words for that yet. You need to tell us what that's called so that we can evaluate it and pay you fairly for it. So you can upload a photo from your mobile phone, from your iPad, from your computer, share a few tags, let people know what it is. Each photo lives at a unique URL so everybody can find it. You can share that with all your other social media so that it can be populated around the web. You can save favorites for later so that you can know what it is. You know, I love that thing that that guy was working on, that woman was working on. What was it? I have to remember, I have to go back. Like I said, messaging. So yeah, so that is Start Something Local. Please check it out and tell me what you hate about it first. If you like it, that's great, but I want to know what you hate about it. I'll be in the back. Mateo, my co-founder, and I have a table during the showcase, and come tell me what you hate about it, and we will try to fix it, because software is never done, just like transforming the food system is never done. So we need your help to make it better. I thought I was going to see more students here. They asked me to give some advice to students going into food. And what I thought was that, especially for students going into food entrepreneurship, what I would recommend for you is that while we are always disrupting things here in Silicon Valley, and while we're always doing the first thing that has ever been done in our little niche, remember that there are nonprofits, and there are family farms, and there are non-government organizations that have been working on sustainable agriculture and that have been working on healthy food access forever. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys who are in this piece of information, but if you're a student, sometimes it's easy to forget that you're not the first. Learn from these people, work with them, use them to your advantage, because they have an amazing knowledge base that is going to be needed for us to get to a better food system. We're not going to do it alone. And yeah, that's all. Thank you very much. Please check out Start Something Local, our beta.
For more, please visit us at stanford.edu.